In this podcast episode, financial expert David Bach dives deep into the fundamental strategies for building wealth, emphasizing the power of homeownership, investing in the stock market, and the importance of automating finances. Drawing on over 3 decades of experience in financial advising and education, Bach challenges common myths about renting versus buying and presents practical solutions for overcoming debt, managing money in relationships, and preparing for an uncertain economic future. The discussion also explores the mindset required for financial success and the evolving landscape shaped by technology and AI. David Bach opens by presenting a stark financial reality. Homeowners in America are worth approximately 40 times more than renters. He explains that this disparity is not coincidental, but rooted in the mechanics of building wealth through real estate equity. While skeptics argue that buying a home doesn't necessarily make people rich, Bach counters that, when done properly, homeownership can be a powerful wealth-building tool. He highlights that the average homeowner's net worth often exceeds $400,000, compared to just around $10,000 for renters. He underscores the substantial equity built up nationally, citing a Wall Street Journal article noting $34 trillion in home equity in the U.S. alone, alongside $45 trillion in retirement accounts, mostly invested in stocks. Bach emphasizes that while real estate prices have surged, so have rents, often consuming large portions of household income with no accumulation of assets for renters. In many cases, landlords pass the costs of taxes, insurance, and maintenance onto tenants, meaning renters subsidize the financial benefits that owners accumulate. Addressing the debate between renting and investing in the stock market, Bach makes a crucial distinction. The comparison is not apples to apples. Homebuyers typically leverage mortgage financing, putting down a fraction of a property's cost, often 20%, but benefiting from the full appreciation of the home's value. For instance, if a $200,000 home doubles in value over 10 years, the homeowner reaps a 5-fold return on their down payment due to leverage, which, compounded with tax benefits such as mortgage interest deductions and tax-free capital gains, significantly accelerates wealth accumulation. He points out that many who advocate renting with an eye on investing the savings actually end up spending that money on lifestyle inflation rather than investing. This behavioral trend contributes to the growing problem of rental dependency and limited wealth accumulation among younger generations, especially in expensive cities. Bach also notes institutional investors are increasingly buying up residential real estate, further curbing homeownership opportunities for many. Bach shares his personal experience starting out in credit card debt and buying his first home with a friend, illustrating practical strategies young people can use to enter the real estate market despite financial challenges. Renting out rooms or other creative financing strategies can help manage affordability. He stresses the importance of getting into homeownership early. Renting in your 20s and 30s without buying can leave you little to no net worth in your 40s. Homeownership also offers forced savings as mortgage payments reduce principal over time, helping people build equity without consciously setting aside money elsewhere. He advocates using bi-weekly mortgage payments to accelerate paying off the mortgage and save on interest, a strategy that can shorten a 30-year loan by 5 years or more. A key theme throughout the episode is the power of automation in achieving financial success. Bach reveals that almost all clients who successfully build wealth do so by automating their savings and investments. Manually transferring money for saving or investing very rarely sustains more than a few months. Automation removes the burden of discipline, budgeting stress, and decision fatigue. He advocates the principle of pay yourself first, where a portion of income is automatically directed into retirement accounts, like 401ks or IRAs, before any other expenses are paid. This ensures consistent wealth building, regardless of spending habits. Bach describes a simple plan of saving 1 to 5% of gross income, roughly 1 hour of daily labor's equivalent, split into 3 buckets: retirement, emergency savings, and dream accounts. This system helps balance both security and aspiration without requiring complex budgeting or excessive income. For listeners struggling with debt, Bach shares a straightforward strategy called DOLP. done on last payment, which prioritizes paying off the smallest balance first while maintaining minimum payments on all others. This snowball technique creates momentum and psychological wins by visibly reducing the number of debts rapidly. He also stresses the importance of keeping payments automatic to avoid late fees and credit damage. Negotiating interest rates and transferring balances to lower rate cards can reduce the debt burden, but Bach cautions against pitfalls like penalty interest rate hikes from missed payments. He encourages people to seek help from credit counseling services or negotiate directly with lenders when overwhelmed. After clearing debt, he recommends avoiding credit cards to prevent recurring financial traps. Bach discusses an important misconception: earning more money alone does not guarantee wealth. Many people earning six figures remain financially broke due to lifestyle inflation, spending more as income rises. Governments, companies, and marketers are constantly vying for a slice of consumers' earnings through taxes, subscriptions, and enticing purchases. He encourages listeners to grow their income by becoming invaluable at their job or pursuing skills in emerging sectors like AI, plumbing, or specialized trades, areas with lucrative opportunities irrespective of economic shifts. Nonetheless, without discipline and a saving mindset, higher income can simply translate into greater expenditure, not financial freedom. Bach highlights how women face unique financial challenges, including longer lifespans, time out of the workforce for caregiving, and often lower lifetime earnings. The average widowhood age is around 59, placing many women at financial risk if they are not actively involved in managing money. He insists every woman, regardless of marital status or income, must take control of her financial well-being. Interestingly, Bach notes studies show women typically make better long-term investors because they trade less frequently and conduct more research, resulting in superior returns compared to men's more impulsive trading behaviors. Money frequently causes conflict in relationships. Bach explains that about half of couples have one partner completely in the dark about household finances, which can lead to financial infidelity and mistrust. He urges couples to align their finances by first identifying shared values and then building a financial plan focused on those priorities, rather than budgets that may breed resentment. He stresses the importance of transparency, joint financial education, and regular reviews, even if only one person manages day-to-day decisions. Money discussions become even more critical, given the reality of premature death, illness, or divorce, which often leave one spouse unprepared and vulnerable. Bach strongly recommends couples create wills, life insurance policies, and clear financial communication to safeguard each other. Against the backdrop of hype around day trading, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and get-rich-quick schemes, Bach advocates investment simplicity and discipline. He emphasizes index funds, broad market ETFs like the Vanguard Total Stock Market Fund, VTI, global index funds, and technology ETFs like Nasdaq's QQQ are reliable, diversified options available worldwide. These investments tend to grow steadily over time, compounding wealth without the need for constant tinkering. Bach warns that young people taking excessive risks in speculative assets often lose money, eroding their confidence and hindering long-term wealth building. Instead, building a boring portfolio that automatically rebalances with age limits unnecessary risk while preserving growth potential. Bach draws attention to alarming financial statistics. Around 70% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, 50% don't have savings even for emergencies, and about 40 million families could realistically save $27 a day, while others face near impossible financial constraints. He points out many Americans rely heavily on government support, such as SNAP food assistance, signaling structural economic challenges that require personal financial responsibility more than ever. The looming insolvency of social safety nets like Social Security in the U.S. exacerbates the urgency. Bach's message is clear: no one will rescue you financially but yourself, and starting to save, even a small amount, is the most critical step toward security. A relatable but often overlooked theme Bach addresses is the accumulation of paid subscriptions that quietly drain people's finances. Many listeners find several subscription services they no longer use running invisibly every month. Bach advocates systematically reviewing and canceling unused subscriptions, a simple act that can free up dozens or even hundreds of dollars per month. He singles out tools available on Apple devices as the easiest way to find and manage subscriptions, while also naming popular apps like Monarch and YNAB for more comprehensive budgeting support. Redirecting these savings into automated investment accounts can significantly build future wealth. Looking ahead, Bach notes the next decade could be the greatest wealth-building opportunity in history, powered by the rapid growth and adoption of artificial intelligence. However, these changes also threaten traditional jobs and deepen wealth inequalities. Many will be left behind if they don't proactively manage finances, save, and upgrade skills. He underscores that individuals have no control over macroeconomic or geopolitical events, but full control over their personal economy, which means taking ownership of money management, investing, and career development is more vital than ever. Throughout the discussion, Bach stresses mindset as a foundational element in financial success, alongside decisions and habits. Using his grandmother's story, a woman who made a conscious decision to change her family's financial future by starting to save and invest small amounts early, he illustrates the ripple effect of one person's choice. He highlights that anyone can start small, build momentum through consistent habits, and that optimism and focus on dreams fuel progress. Conversely, negative stinking thinking keeps many stuck. He encourages listeners to treat money as a tool for living a rich, meaningful life, not an end in itself, and to keep growing themselves personally and financially. Given the financial realities that couples face today, Bach advocates seriously considering prenuptial agreements regardless of income levels or age. He explains that marriage is a legal contract, and treating it as such reduces risk and potential future pain, especially where blended families, inheritance, or uneven finances exist. Proper prenups require legal counsel on both sides and should be arranged well before the wedding day to avoid disputes. Besides retirement accounts, Bach encourages maintaining an emergency fund to cover unexpected expenses, noting that many Americans lack this financial cushion. Equally important is a dream fund to finance personal goals like vacations, education, weddings, or home purchases. Allocating money automatically into these three buckets, future, safety, and dream, ensures financial resilience and motivation. As the conversation concludes, Bach reminds listeners that money is a means, not the end. Health, love, gratitude, friendship, and fun matter most in life. He evokes Tony Robbins' teaching, encouraging people to accept uncomfortable truths, work on dreams actively, and avoid letting time slip away without progress. Financial empowerment provides the freedom to live purposefully and enjoy life fully.